So here we go, our best for last. My first herd hierarchy of the NFL season coming up post-free agency.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
I would say Green Bay. They need another receiver in the draft, but they'll probably end up reaching because they have a lower first-round pick and the good guys are gone. But they lost right tackle Brian Bulaga. Blake Martinez, another guy I like, an active linebacker, they lost him. They added a linebacker, Christian Kirksey. But Aaron Rodgers declined last year with a progressive new coach. Right now, I don't see the Packers as being formidable enough to win a Super Bowl. I have them at 10.
Number 9.
Denver is my dark horse team in the NFL. They won 4 of their last 5 games last year. Drew Lock was the starter. I think they found their guy. Bradley Chubb missed 12 games. He comes back. They added Melvin Gordon. Defensive tackle Jarrell Casey. Cornerback A.J. Bouye. I think they're a better football team. They've got momentum. They lost a couple of last-second heartbreakers last year. I think Denver's a playoff team going forward.
Number 8.
Tampa Bay. Listen, they were 7-9 with 35 turnovers at the quarterback position. Bridgewater or Brady, they're going to be better. Excellent defense down the stretch with Todd Bowles. I think one of the smartest defensive coordinators out there. I think Tampa ends up being a wild card team next year.
Number 7.
Pittsburgh Steelers get Big Ben back. They added a tight end I like, Eric Ebron. Don't forget, this is a team that was 8-5 with a quarterback named Duck. And then they lost their last 3 games. They did an unbelievable patchwork job. And the reason they were able to compete, they were first in the NFL in takeaways and sacks. Young defense is talented and getting better. Add Eric Ebron and Big Ben. I got the Steelers at 7.
Number 6.
Seattle Seahawks. Veteran tight end Greg Olsen. They added him. Right tackle Brandon Shell. Quentin Dunbar, a very good corner, picked him up. They could still keep Jadeveon Clowney. I may have Seattle low. If not for cluster injuries at running back, it was just ridiculous. I think they beat Green Bay. So they've added pieces. Russell Wilson's in his prime. I do think they get Jadeveon Clowney figured out. Seattle at 6.
Number 5.
Philadelphia. They need to draft more than one receiver, but they added an excellent corner, Darius Slay. Carson Wentz really came of age late in the season. Again, the reason I don't have them quite as high as their talent, they're going to have to make some moves to get receivers. They may draft 2 to 3. It's really right now the primary weak spot, and they are talented, but they get a little up there with injuries and age on the offensive line.
Number 4.
New Orleans Saints. I wasn't as high last year, but they proved me wrong. Back-to-back 13-win seasons. They added 2 players I really like. Malcolm Jenkins, super smart, veteran safety, leadership qualities. He's a grown-up. And Emmanuel Sanders, by the way, on our show tomorrow. Emmanuel Sanders now with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara and Drew Brees and Sean Payton. That's just 65 catches and 6 touchdowns. That is a great addition in New Orleans. I have them at 4.
Number 3.
San Francisco does lose DeForest Buckner, the defensive lineman, but they get a first-round pick for it. And they had to pay a couple of their guys, so they need a talented kid they don't have to pay a fortune to. And so far, they've done a pretty good job drafting players. I still think they have, overall, the best defensive line in football. Their receivers are young and getting better, but I think they're going to pick up a great player in the first round at 13. I think they'll keep it rolling. Shanahan, to me, is the best young coach in football. San Francisco, 3.
Number 2.
Kansas City. Not a lot of moves. I love where they're going. Post-Super Bowl, a little hangover, a little party. I think their division's tougher. I think Denver's going to be a lot better. I think the Raiders have improved. I think the Chargers get a quarterback. So Kansas City could be good, but they could lose 2 more games next year just because the division's tougher.
Number 1.
I think Baltimore is scary. First of all, their defense was good last year. They had Calais Campbell, Marlon Humphrey, Michael Brockers. You do not want any part of Baltimore's defensive line. I also think they have the best secondary right now in the NFL. kind of by far. And again, Lamar Jackson, a lot of people think, well, they're going to figure him out. Well, I saw from year 1 to year 2, he made a big jump. My guess is year 2 to year 3, he also makes a jump. Baltimore looks good. Baltimore's defense right now, this is a franchise that's always had really good defenses. If you just go and go online and look at Baltimore's defense, it's got like 7 to 8 elite defensive players. So they got their offensive line figured out, the quarterback figured out. They hit it last year at wide receiver in the draft. I think Baltimore right now is the best team in the NFL. Their secondary is filthy. Earl Thomas, Marcus Peters, Humphrey, and Jimmy Smith is back, right? Good Lord. I mean, they're Baltimore's defensive line and secondary. I mean, there's going to be at some point, the passer ratings this year, throwing the ball against Baltimore, may be the lowest. It will be unbelievable. Poor Joe Burrow. That's the best secondary in the NFL in a decade, potentially, and the best defensive front in football outside of the 49ers, and maybe better than the 49ers. Yeah, you're right. Klatt told me Burrow's Joe Montana, so you just fly right through it. Hot knife through butter, right? All right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.